Alright, today's video is about fixing this ARION stomp box. It's missing the battery cover and I was told it was dead. It looks like it's some sort of a delay unit. It's got some instructions on the back that are written in what appears to be English, but I'm not really sure. I'll put that up on the screen. What does it say? Power will be supplied when cord is placed in input jack. When not in use, please be sure that cord is plugged out from input jack. I think that's English. Anyway, let me move on with hooking it up. Wow, you know, the inputs and outputs aren't even labeled, so I don't know. I'm going to figure it goes left to right. And I press the button, I don't get anything. And the guitar signal isn't passing through. Let's try it the other way. Or at least the signal's passing through, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we'll crack it open. This is just as much of a mystery to me as it is to you. I don't normally work on these, so I'm guessing inside of here is small circuit board, maybe a regulator, or probably just a voltage divider. One chip in the center of it all, surrounded by maybe a couple of transistors. And unless I miss my guess, most of these things just wind up having bad connectors. But I could be wrong. What do we got? That's cool. Oh, that's a rather elaborate circuit board. I wasn't expecting anything that major. Pull these knobs off. That's a lot of circuitry for a little guy like this. There we go. Wow, that is pretty elaborate. Alright, well first, my first checks are going to be to check power and go from there. Alright, so after looking over the circuit for a little bit, I see that the 9 volt goes into these 2 points. Ground runs down here through this switch. When you plug your 1/4 inch plug in, it completes the circuit to ground and turns the pedal on. The DC jack also breaks the 9 volt battery off, so there's 2 points where you can break the circuit. So if you plug that connector in and then hit the button, it turns on. I had a lot of problems with that connector. It wasn't exactly so clean, so it would be a good idea probably to replace that connector. Maybe I'll just shoot it up with a little WD-40 for now. But I think it needs to be replaced. The other thing about the power supply, give me 1 second. Most power supplies in the free world have that negative on the outside edge. This particular pedal wants negative to be on the tip, so if you plug this power supply in, the thing won't work. This is the kind of thing, hopefully you can see that. You look at the little symbol, the outer ring represents that, and the inner ring represents the tip. And on this diagram here, the tip is negative and the outside is positive, so this one should power up the unit. Alright. And as you can see, I've got the plug in now and I'm running on the AC power only, and it's coming on. So let's plug a guitar in a little bit and see what happens here. Alright, it's all plugged in, and that's direct. Yeah, here's the pedal on. It's a little echo. Thanks and goodbye. Funny thing is, after I put this whole thing back together and I was ready to play it, put it together and I hit the button, nothing happened. Well, it seems that the whole problem of the whole thing is that this switch on the pedal isn't reaching down and hitting the button here, so I'm going to have to build that up a little bit. I'll see what I can do. Just to show you, got the plug in, got the power supply hooked up, and there is no light. So let's drop it out, hit the button, and there's our light. Alright, give me a few minutes to figure out something to put on there, maybe some shrink tubing or something. Alright, to build that up, I found a small wire nut laying around, and what's really cool about that is it just kind of screws on and off. So I'll put that on a file or a grinding wheel and get it down to the right height. Alright, and this is what it looks like after I ran it on a grinding wheel a little bit, and let me assemble it and see what we got. Okay, before I totally put it back together this time, I just want to check and make sure she's working. She seems to be. We'll go on from there. Alright, now that that's all put to bed, alright, the wire nut's in there and it's nice and secure, and you can see the red light's turning on, so it's doing its thing. Let's see what we got. Alright, I'm calling that fixed and calling it a day. Goodbye.